Hello, beautiful manifestors. It is Olivia Grace, and I'm back with another video. And in this video, we're going to be talking about persisting when you're not seeing results in 3D. Someone asked this question in my Patreon. This is honestly probably a couple weeks ago now because I was going live at that moment, and the answer came afterwards after I went live. But it's a really great question, so I want to talk about it. Speaking of my Patreon, you can join that. I do daily Bible metaphysical studies, and you get your first 7 days free. Right now, we're doing a 30-day revision challenge in there, so you can join. The link is in the description. You can also work one-on-one with me if you'd like to. That link is in the description as well. But yeah, if you're new here, I am Olivia Grace. This is the Master Manifestors channel. And here I talk about manifestation, law of assumption, all that good, incredible, powerful stuff. So if you're into that, then I'd love to have you be a part of the channel. Okay. All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome in. Hi, Mama Kay. Hi, Empress. Thank you. Hi, Carisha. Hi, Natoya. Okay, guys, let's talk about persisting. Okay. So how do you persist when the specific question that she asked was, how do you persist in the God state when you're not seeing what's going on, right? Um, Mumbo jumbo, that's a really good question. I'll get to it, okay? So when you're not seeing what's going on, okay? And this, not seeing what's going on, not seeing it manifest. You're not seeing your manifestation in 3D. Okay, so this is going to be something that can absolutely help you guys with everything, okay? Thank you, Empress. Hi, Reality Got Fested. All right. And what that is, you guys, is stop allowing 3D to tell you anything, okay? Understand that 3D is an effect, not the cause, okay? 3D is an effect. 3D is moldable. 3D is not final, okay? So truthfully, it doesn't matter. This is why they say circumstances don't matter, okay? When they say circumstances don't matter, it doesn't mean that the circumstance may not be triggering or hurtful or scary or whatever. It means that whatever the circumstance is not hindering it from what it could possibly be, okay? What it could be, all right? And you knowing that is what allows you to give attention to that, okay? Because when you don't really believe that it can change because it's so whatever it is, you're like, well, I guess it can't change, or this is too serious, or this is too hard, or this is whatever, then you don't even try. You don't even go to your imagination, and you just accept it for what it is, okay? So let's all just decide that 3D doesn't get to tell me what I'm going to have or not. Okay? 3D does not get to tell you. Listen, y'all, it does not get to tell you what you're going to have or not. Now, you can look to 3D and decide based off of that, right? But you don't have to do that. And to be honest, you're above that and you already know that. Okay? You already know that. All right. So making the 3D irrelevant, right? I always tell you guys that it's not so much about ignoring the 3D, it's understanding the power, right? So let's take, ooh, this just came to me. I'm not a plant mom, but those of you who have plants and take care of plants will understand this. Sometimes a plant might seem dead, right? Or it's not doing well, it's dying. But a plant mom knows where to cut, where to fertilize, where to water, where to put it in the sun, what to do to completely revive the plant, right? And so, but looking at it, when you see the plant all shriveled up, it absolutely looks like, well, it's done for. Somebody like me who doesn't have, who's not a plant mom, right, would be like, well, I guess I fucked it up and just throw it in the trash, right? But someone else who has the skill knows that, oh, it might be like that. Just the same way that it got like that, it can be fixed, right? It can be fixed. So this is the way that I want you to look at your 3D. It's not about, oh, pretending like, whatever situation is not that bad or that it's whatever. It's about you knowing that I have and I am the power that has the ability and supremacy and authority to change this, okay? Now, You are so powerful that you can give power away, right? You can put your power into other things. And when you put your power into other things, those things are going to seem more powerful than you. This is true on every freaking level, you guys. The thing that is impossible to you, the thing that's difficult to you, is only that way because you decided that, okay? Because you decided that. Now, you get to decide. Now, okay. What happens is we believe, oh, I need to become something else. There's something else. There's some lesson I haven't learned. There's something I need to, go and get. There's whatever, something down the line, right? Down the line that I'll be able to be or know or have that I can't be or know now. First illusion, right? Truthfully, you guys, like someone said this to me and it's always on my mind, which is that you're not new to this shit. You're true to this shit. That's not what they said. That's how I interpreted it. But you're not new to this shit. You're true to this shit. You think that this is your first go round, right? You think that you're here on earth and you're like stumbling around and, oh, wow, I've never manifested these things before. But that's not true. You've done it. You're doing it. You've done it all. You've done it all. You've literally done it all. You do it all. You are the power. You're not really the avatar. The avatar is more temporary and what's the word to say? It's more temporary and more like I don't know, like a little, you're like cosplaying. You're cosplaying as your human. Okay? It's not really who you are. Who you are is infinite. Who you are does not, cannot, will not, has not failed. Okay? And so you actually do know. You know what to do. Even when you're like, I don't know what to do, you do know what to do. I don't think I'm good enough to do this. You actually are. But however you are instructing yourself, right? Understand that what you speak about yourself, you're instructing yourself. Okay? So when you say, I can't do that, you're instructing, you're abracadabbering yourself and saying, you can't do that, and putting yourself under a can't do spell. Okay? When you say, that's going to take me a really long time and all of those things, you're saying that. Okay? You and your powerful self are saying that. Just the same way you can say, well, there's not really any time. And if I am all that there is to be right now, and I get to choose what out of all that there is to be that I'm going to light up and embody right now, then what do I choose? I don't have to wait. Okay? So I feel like I got a little bit away from the topic, but not really, because it's all relevant. But the point is to make 3D irrelevant. Okay? It doesn't mean that it doesn't hurt. You see what I'm saying? Like, let's say for instance, you got a baby and you are a single mom and you pay bills and you can't be late to work anymore or miss a day or you're going to get fired. All right. Well, you are hungover because you was out partying, but are you going to stay home? Like, it doesn't mean that it's not difficult, right? It doesn't mean it's not difficult to get up with your head banging, to get up feeling like sick. But at the end of the day, you're going to do what you have to do because you have to do it for yourself and for your kid, right? This is what it is to persist in 3D. It's not that it's always easy, y'all. I'm not going to tell you that. You know what I'm saying? It can be, but sometimes it's not. And that's okay. But you have to continue to truly bet on yourself and ride for yourself and ride for your life that you want. Okay? Ride for your life that you want. Stop giving up on yourself. Yes, it's difficult to take our attention away from what's in 3D, but it's necessary. You must do it. Okay? Today's Bible study that we did in the Patreon was the verse about go and close the door, right? Don't be out on the streets praying on the corner and all this other type of stuff. Go in secret. And what you tell your father in secret, he will reward you openly, right? So this is closing the door to the senses. You have to take time to close your eyes, okay? To look away from what is and give attention to what you want. You have to be intentional about that, okay? So close yourself off from what you're seeing, all right? And put your attention on what you want. Even like sometimes y'all, you're having a boring conversation, you could be affirming, you could be having an inner conversation in your mind. Sometimes like when you're having a conversation and they're telling you something you don't like, you could be revising it on the spot as they're speaking, right? So go away, close your eyes to it, right? Close your senses to it and put your senses on something else. Now, this does take discipline, right? As someone said up there, it does take discipline. It does take consistency. Okay. Thank you, Teddy. It does take discipline. It does take consistency, but it's well worth it. Do you want what you want or not? Right? So stop basing whether you're going to persist or not off of what's going on. Okay. It does not matter what's going on. The truth is, you guys, the way that we judge by appearances, you don't even know. You might look at something and say, oh, it looks like it's not working out. And the whole time it's working out. You truly don't know. So you're just assuming anyways. You see what I'm saying? You're assuming anyways. You don't know that it's not going to work out. You don't know that this person is not about to call you tomorrow. You don't know that the job offer is not in your email actually right now. You don't know that the check is in the mail right now. You don't know that all this, like your solution is right there at the door. You don't know. And you just keep assuming it's not, couldn't be, I don't know. Right? Assume it is. Okay? Assume it is. All right? So stop hinging your persistence based off of what's going on in 3D. For me, this is how I look at persistence. Okay? How I look at persistence is, do I want it? Period. Do I want it? Then I'm persisting. I don't give a fuck what it is. I don't give a fuck if the sun is turning from right to left instead of left to right. I don't give a fuck what's in retrograde or what's in Mercury or what's in motherfucking Pluto and the 7th house or none of that. I don't give a fuck if a dove fly by or a robin fly by. I don't give a fuck if 3D is like, nah, and it's showing me everything that's telling me no. If I want it and I know I'm the God of my reality, if I want it and I know that nothing is supreme to me except for what I decide is supreme to me, well, if I want it, then the only way for it to go is my way. And the way for it to go my way is for me to persist. So I'm Ray Charles to the bullshit. You gotta be Ray Charles to the bullshit, okay? And keep focused. Keep focused on what you want. All right? So, persist if you want it. Persist in having it. That's the next point. Persist in having it, not getting it. Persisting in getting it is why you're frustrated. Persisting in getting it is why you're in Tryngsville, okay? And I'm going to explain Tryngsville to y'all right now, okay? What's the difference? What do you mean Tryngsville, Olivia? Because shouldn't I be doing my thing every single day? Isn't that what you're saying? Isn't that what persisting is? Sure. But what is the awareness behind what you're doing? I'm telling y'all, everything for me, what I've noticed, because I say that I am a advanced manifestation teacher. You know the basics. Once you know the basics, oh, your thoughts become things. You know what I'm saying? Focus on what you want. Do this technique. Yada yada yada. Okay, cool. When you've done all that and it's still not working, then you come here. Then you come to me. Because a lot of the things are subtle shifts. They're so subtle that you're not aware. So you're on the surface, you're like, but I'm doing the thing. I'm doing the technique. But your awareness behind it, your consciousness behind it, right? Which is reality. Your awareness and your consciousness is reality. What your awareness is I don't have it and I'm doing this thing to get it. Which is cool, right? It actually makes sense when you believe in linear time, right? The belief is, well, if I keep doing this, at some point, it's going to make a new neural connection and make a groove in my brain that makes this shit manifest for me, which is not necessarily wrong. You know what I'm saying? However, it can get to a point of when do you ever stop identifying as the person who doesn't have it? And that's when you're perpetually in Tryingville. That's when every day you wake up like, oh, here I go again. I'm going to try, but it's not working and it never works. And, well, yeah, I'm going to get this thing one day, as long as I keep doing these things, but never actually entering into the consciousness and the awareness that says, it's mine now. So how do you persist from that state, right? It's more about knowing, let's talk about this actually. Let's make something that's so esoteric, not so esoteric. Well, as not so esoteric as we can. You are multidimensional, meaning that you are existing on multiple infinite levels, multiple infinite versions of you are existing now because there's no time, okay? There's no time. So you're existing, there's infinite versions of you. So the version of you who has what it is that you're manifesting is already existing. This is what creation is finished means, okay? You're not creating anything. You're selecting, you're aligning, you're being, you're becoming aware of a specific out of the infinity, okay? All right, so if you know that all versions of you exist, the version of you who got what they wanted exists, okay? And so how do you tap into that version? You tap into that version with your consciousness, with your identity, with your beliefs, with your assumptions, okay? And so when you're persisting, what you're doing, you can look at it almost like rehearsing who you are, right? If somebody gets cast into a role, they're going to rehearse the role to get comfortable with it, but the role is still theirs, okay? The role is theirs. They're not still trying out. They're not still getting their audition together. The role is theirs. And now they are rehearsing to get good and natural and normal at that role to where they can perform it seamlessly. That's how you want to look at persistence, right? Even when it comes to like, when you do see it as separate from yourself, right? Because a lot of the stuff, I like to talk to y'all on all different levels of consciousness. Because sometimes, and depending on how much you understand law of assumption, what I just said might be like over your head. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck you talking about? Multiple dimensions and infinite versions and yada, yada, yada. So you can look at it like this. I'm giving myself the inner qualities. I'm giving myself the inner qualities of the version that has it. Okay, I'm giving, instead of, because when you look at it like I'm getting something in 3D that I don't have, you keep looking to 3D to be your confirmation and your validation, and it keeps confirming the opposite, right? And so that's frustrating you. But when your goal and your attention and your intention is internal of who you're being, and what qualities am I having? What beliefs and assumptions do I have? What is the identity that I have? And how can I rehearse and practice the identity of the one that I want, right? Rehearse and practice the imaginings of the version of me that I want to be, right? So as you can see, all of these things have nothing to do with 3D, you guys. And you guys are the ones that make 3D relevant, okay? You get to say, I want you to think about it like this, then I'm going to read your comments and then I'm going to go. When somebody is born in the hood, right? Everybody around them is struggling. The only people that's doing well is like drug dealers or whatever. The person can say, well, I'm a product of my environment. That's what I grew up in. That's all that I saw. And so that's what I became. And so they are deciding who they are based off of what's going on outside of them. Okay. Another person in the same place, grew up in the same place, can look at that and say, I want to be different. I don't want to be like that. I don't have to be what is presented to me. I can come beyond it. And even though that person doesn't have anything to look at, to see, they may not have somebody in front of them or in their neighborhood that they could say, oh, this is my role model. They imagine beyond where they are. They see themselves beyond where they are. And they don't wait till they get there to see themselves beyond. You talk to the first person who says, I'm a product of my environment. He'll tell you, oh, well, once I win the lottery, it's up. Well, once my situation changes, it's up. Well, once America stop trying to hold a brother down, it's up. Right? Once everything outside of me changes, it's up. And that's why he'll be right there. Because what do we know? That we change inside before the outside changes. The internal change leads to the outside change. The internal change is the cause of the external change. Okay? All right. So, keep in mind, you're persisting in having, not getting. Okay? You're persisting in having, not getting. You're persisting in being who you're being. Okay? You're persisting internally. You're not basing your persistence off of what's happening or not happening. You know that your persistence is what leads to what's happening or not happening. Okay? That's the way I look at it. I'm not looking at what's happening or what's happening. I know that an assumption, though false, if persisted in, will harden into fact. That's all I need to know then. So I need to be persisting my assumption regardless of what's false. Do you hear what I'm saying? Okay? Regardless of what's false. And let me tell y'all, even still, there are times in my life where the circumstance seems so critical that I'm like, damn, I really don't know like what could happen. And the moment that I get out of trying to understand and logicize it and make it make sense, and I just go to my end, reality opens up and folds and bends in ways that I didn't even think about. Okay? All right. I love you guys. Thank you for all your compliments. You guys are so sweet. Okay. I love you, Liv. I asked much needed money from my millionaire brother earlier today. He totally ignored my message. I just decided he will send it early tomorrow. Doubt creeps in. You already have the money. You actually can't need money, okay? I'm actually doing a 30-day money challenge, you guys. I just recorded. I'm going to post it. I'm probably going to post it for members tonight, but everybody else tomorrow. But this the thing, y'all, with money, realize that lack is an illusion. And I know that's so cliche and it's so bullshit and it's so whatever, but actually it's literally the truth. Lack is something that you're literally believing is true. You're believing that lack is true. It's not. You're believing what the circumstance is telling you, that you don't have what you need, and it's not true. Okay? So yeah, he did send it, Susan. He sent more than you wanted. What if you have a huge emotional charge from the past? My ex unfollowed me after we broke up, so I'm always preparing for loss, and it happened with multiple SPs after that. Okay, well, when you're noticing a pattern, you guys, in your love life or in anything, it's a self-concept thing, okay? It's a core belief thing. It's something that you believe about you that's being pushed out, and you keep trying to change it in everybody else instead of changing it in you, okay? So I would say for you, Kathleen, to focus on, like, I would suggest EFT. I'm going to be screaming EFT from the rooftops because it's so freaking powerful and helpful. But I would say to do some EFT around like being secure in yourself. Okay. And maybe do some, deep diving. I don't know if I feel like I did do a video on core beliefs, but look at these patterns in love and see what are they telling you about you? Because we look at the patterns in love and be like, yep, that's just because everybody in the world is like that. Is it? What's the common denominator? All right. When you the common denominator, well, it must be something that you got going on. Okay. I'm selecting a different reality. It's hard with SP around me not doing what I want him to do. I can tell myself no, but it's like, how do I ignore it when it feels so heavy, trying not to react? Okay. This is a really good question. This is really going to help you guys, okay? So what's happening with the SP is that you want him to confirm something about you. You want his behavior to give you a feeling. You want his behavior to give you some type of sense of self, whether it be that I'm wanted, I'm good enough, I'm supported, I'm loved, whatever it is. You want him to be a way. And so you keep standing in I'm not this until he does this, right? And so you're standing in I'm not this. He's reflecting I'm not this. And then it's triggering you because him reflecting I'm not this is triggering the identity, right? That you're in anyways. So instead of seeing your SP as when are you going to do what I want to give me what I want, give yourself what you want. Really look at what is it that he's doing that's blowing you? You know what I'm saying? And what does it make you feel, right? It might be like, oh, he doesn't take me out on dates, right? And so you're thinking like, okay, he takes me on dates, he takes me on dates. But your belief, your core belief might be something like, I'm not prioritized, or guys never, do nice things for, or whatever. I don't know. Right. And I want him to prove to me that that's different. Go to yourself and decide, I'm the version of me that is prioritized. I'm the version of me that always is spoiled. I'm the version of me that always gets what I want. When you decide that I'm the version of me that always gets what I want, it don't really matter what he's doing. Okay? Because you know that it has no choice but to change. But you are looking at his behavior, right? Like we're talking about in the video, and deciding, am I going to get what I want or not? That's dependent on his behavior. It's not. It doesn't matter. I'm telling y'all, with your SPs, they acting up. You don't even know him. I don't even know you. You're the evil twin. Because my man would never do that. Loving and living for your content. Use Parrot came to an epiphany about my divine talents last night. Woke up, meditated, visualized tears of joy about my desires. I love that. Felt good. Was excited to attend the street renaming for, I'm going to mess that up, in NYC. I'm an artist too and know the family. Why was every change so delayed that I missed the entire event? Aw. I'm sorry to hear that. How is this working out for you? I don't know. I'm sorry. But I would say just continue, continue persisting. But I am sorry that happened. Thank you, Aaliyah. You're so sweet. I manifested something today because of your last stream. I love that. Wonderful. Congratulations. Okay. So what in me is seeing him not take accountability for the things that's obvious, like he's never wrong. I already know how that is. Let's see. Not taking accountability. Well, it could be something like you always feeling like you're wrong, or that you always have to take the blame. It could even be something like having to earn love, like having to, I don't know. It's hard for me to tell you guys exactly what it is, y'all. Because I don't know everything about your situation, but I would say change the story. And this is the thing about changing the story, you guys, is we look at it like changing the story is me like getting him to change, right? But you're selecting a different version of him. Okay. 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 Well, I'm going to go, you guys. Thank you for the floating heart, Kanini. Yeah, I'm going to go, you guys, because I actually am about to go to dinner with my sister. Hi, Lyric. I love you. But I love all of you guys so, so much. I'm intending that this prospers you all immensely, and I'm absolutely sure that it has. You guys look out for the 30-day money challenge. It's going to be awesome. You guys can join the Patreon if you'd like. You get your first 7 days free, or you can work with me one-on-one if you'd like to have a private session. But other than that, I'm sending you all infinite, infinite love, and I will see you guys in a video soon.